Vegetables is a good thing. Fruit.
Blech.
Fruit is good.
Vegetables. Blech.
Tell Amy get you the sardines then. They got lots of sodium right there. It's protein.
There you go. There you go.
Fix you right up.
Hey guys, this is Scott and Wendi with Raising an Archer, and she's already in rare form. I think she's had too much caffeine.
No, I'm still on caffeine intake. I'm doing
You're still bringing it. It's still intaking.
I'm still intaking, yes.
She had this little mustache thing.
I've got
that she
you
was,
all the
There you
way
go.
during this podcast, and it is so cute. Look at that.
Yeah, she has a mustache.
Hey, it matches my hair.
It's kind of that trucker type mustache.
I was thinking more like,
You look like a cat.
my cat does not
Now
have
you
a
have to watch the video
mustache.
if you want to see what she's doing.
Which would be on Patreon, right?
It will be on Patreon.
Woohoo! Get on it.
All right, so we are going to talk about nutrition when it comes to archery.
Hydration.
And hydration. And we are not nutritionists.
No.
We are mom and dads that
Yes.
try to keep our kids hydrated
Yes.
and get the right nutrients.
was that?
Right?
We tried-
Carbs, all that good stuff. All right.
Because your boy will ask my girl, did you eat? And if she says, no, I have not. Yeah, I'm not even hungry. He's like, nope, you got to go eat right now. You
Yeah,
got to
so
get some feed because you're going to shoot like crap.
So Ryan
The
has
whole
learned,
attitude.
he's learned over the years is that you have to have fuel in
Yes.
these tournaments as you shoot. So when they start shooting, they're not hungry
Right.
during the shoot.
Yeah.
But we've learned that you have to force something in them. And so, like you said, Ryan has learned that he just takes 1 or 2 bites as he goes until he finishes it, and he moves on. He grabs another granola bar or whatever it is. I think that Noah does tuna.
Well, that's good protein.
It's kind of gross.
That's what we'll talk about
He,
protein.
he puts it in his little pouch where his releases.
Yeah.
And he'll little pinch out the tuna and eat
Okay,
it.
that might be a little
Smells like-
gross.
Smells like tuna.
Okay. Well, Julia's friend, Cash Moffat, that his mom carries around, and she makes sure that there's snacks at the tournament. And she pulled out, we were in Vegas. She's like, hey, got tuna right here. We have this, we have that. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great pick-me-up.
Yeah,
And,
sardines are really good.
Yeah, well, you go right on with your sardines. I'll let you.
Sardines and crackers. There you go. There you go. I know kids. That's one of the kids' favorites.
Okay.
No, no,
Not
it is
mine.
not. No, it is not. We had to outlaw that at our house. Amy, my wife, she likes sardines.
Oh.
It's gross.
Yeah,
So I
it's
said
gross,
that is
Amy.
not allowed. That is not
I
allowed in
love
this
you,
house.
Amy, but sardines,
Yeah, no.
not so much.
Yeah, you'll have to ask her about it. And she'll try to buy them too. I'm like, no, that's not allowed in the house.
No.
It smells funky. I can't even imagine. She's like, you want to try it? No, I don't want to try it. If it smells like whatever it smells like, I don't want to taste.
Rotten food.
Yeah. So one thing that we have learned as judges when we go to these big tournaments, that it doesn't take long for kids. And we'll talk about hydration first. It doesn't take long for a youth or even an adult to become dehydrated.
Yes.
And it is one of those things where you just constantly have to drink. Ryan was practicing the other day. He was out there for 4 hours. He said he came in, he looked terrible. His face was red. I was like, were you drinking water? He's like, yeah, I was drinking water. Turns out he had 5 bottles of water in 4 hours. Not enough.
Well, not only that, do you know when you really need to start your hydration?
Day before.
Yes, 2 days.
2 days.
2 days is what they say. 2 days before. And so what we've started doing, the liquid IV or even Propel, you can get the packets to go in your water, and we start that 2 days beforehand. Go ahead and get it.
I've heard a lot of
and
good stuff about the liquid IV.
we really like the liquid IV. One of the judges that we have for COJs, Jen, she started me with that. I was like, no, I'm not gonna. And then I can tell such a difference, even drinking it that day. But really, you want to do this 2 days ahead of time. You want to go ahead and have that in your body, because you're going to lose so much sodium. When you lose that sodium, your body doesn't retain the water, and you get dehydrated.
Yeah, and
especially when we're in these summer months, and it's not gonna go away anytime soon.
No, and it's even with Ryan that he didn't look great, but he looked okay. that night his stomach hurt. He didn't
Yes.
feel good. He didn't
Yeah.
sleep well that night. That's the last thing you want for an archery tournament, to have not feel good after the first day. So make sure that they're well hydrated. And I think it's a great idea to go ahead and make sure that you're drinking water beforehand.
Yes.
As you travel up there. Just get as much
So
liquids
when
into
we're
you.
talking about hydration, we're not talking about sodas, all the sugary drinks, Kool-Aid, different things like that. That's not what your kiddos need right
No.
now, or even
No.
as an adult. We were at a tournament this Saturday, and Mr. Eugene, he was like, I need to sit down. Can y'all go score? Talking to his Bill, can y'all go score without me? And just, I trust you. Because he just was not feeling well. And so I had the Propel packets, and he said, I'm not real sure about that. And he put one in a bottle of water, and a little bit, maybe an hour later, he came back. He said, do you have another one of those? So yes, make sure, whether you're an adult or you have a child, make sure that you're staying hydrated, or your kid is staying hydrated, or maybe you're a coach. Make sure your archers are staying hydrated.
And one thing, keep an eye out while they're out there too, because, as judges, we keep especially when you get just a few, I mean, it can happen so fast. But last year at Joy Nationals, one of the little girls, I could tell she was lagging behind from everybody else. Everybody walked down there. She was a little bit slower. I just stepped up to her and started talking to her. I was like, hey, you get enough water? And she's like, yeah. And I was just like, are you feeling okay? And she just burst out into tears. So at that point, I know, hey, why don't you come? Let's get you some fluids. So we took it over there and got her. And it turned out she was dehydrated.
I had a guy on the 70 who I had to call the medic. He passed out on me. I saw him kind of looking a little, ill. And he started leaning, and I said, do you feel okay? He's like, feeling kind of. I was like, whoa, got into a chair, called for medic, made sure that, and that goes along with what we'll talk about in a minute, is food. Mm-hmm. So he didn't eat right, and he ate very little, and then he didn't stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And these tournaments are like marathons, really, because it's more than one day. It's 2 days, and like nationals is 3. But for adults, it's 2 days. USATs are 2 days across the board. But for Joy Nationals, we're looking at it's 3 day. Say you're indoor. This even goes into indoor season. If you do not stay fueled, so nutrition, you're still going to have issues there too. So make sure also with your snacks, that's going to help you stay hydrated if you have some that has salt.
Yeah, there's some Gatorade. I think there's like some Gatorade Chewies and things like that you can get as well.
Absolutely. My son is a swimmer. Well, he was an archer. I guess he still is an archer, but he doesn't compete anymore. He competes in swimming. So he gets the goo to help him in his distance events. And then we've also had the Gatorade Chews. So both of those work well and I didn't even think about using that for archery, but
yeah, I used
easily
to,
could.
The goo. Yeah, I used to cycle a lot, and so we would do the.
Did you fall off?
Of course, I fall. If you cycle, you'll fall at some point. Most
me all the
inaugural time. Oh, yeah, terrible.
That's why I don't ride a bike. That's stationary.
Yeah, we were.
And then I prefer recumbent.
A guy comes yesterday, and he's showing us how to do a slingshot. And there's special techniques for doing a slingshot. And so I was like, Amy, you want to try it? And she's like, nope, I'm going to hurt myself. Guaranteed.
I would love to do slingshot. Yeah, bring it on.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get the guy up here, and he's gonna show us all how to do it, and we're gonna get some slingshots and have some competitions up here. I think that'd be fun.
Well, I need to be invited.
You're always invited, Wendi.
Whatever. You don't tell me until it's. Hey,
that's what I do.
Yeah, you wait until afterwards.
I mean, when did we get our hotel room? We were coming back from Florida.
Oh my gosh, on the way. That drives me crazy. That's like right now I'm going like, hey, where are we going to stop at so we can have a hotel?
I told you, make it happen. Tulsa.
Okay, well, I don't know if we're going to make Tulsa.
We'll make Tulsa. No, we'll make Tulsa.
We may go before Tulsa.
Yeah, we'll make it.
We'll see.
You make a decision.
Details will be later in the next podcast.
We'll see if this is a Just Wendi Raising an Archer podcast.
He may be bumped off.
That's right. Hey, anything's possible.
Walmart did have the ad on Facebook that came across mine for a casket. So
Yeah,
I can help a sister out. I can help Amy out.
Yeah, what on earth?
It didn't look too bad.
Like Walmart, there's an ad for Walmart. You could buy a casket. How much was it? Did you click on it?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I was thinking it was a scam or something, even though it said Walmart. I don't know. I didn't know Walmart was in the casket business. But,
Yeah, I guess they have everything.
right? I guess so.
That's amazing.
It was kind of pretty though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Silver,
She saved
had
the
like
picture.
brown- yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did because I didn't think anyone would believe me.
So,
All right.
so the first thing, one of it is
we're
be-
covering this so you don't have
right.
to have a casket.
Yeah.
Please.
What's the first thing? Be prepared.
Yes.
So part of that preparation is making sure that you beforehand
Yes.
get your hydration. Make sure that you have stuff for them to be able to drink.
To stay.
Yep. And now we're moving into the food, which is kind of the same idea. You got to be prepared.
You need to fuel yourselves. You need to fuel by eating, but you want to eat the right things. We don't need to go out and, because I tell you, my tummy does not do well when I have the fried foods or I have ice cream, and I love ice
I
cream.
got a funny story. So
my
we were
word.
indoor, and you'll probably remember this. We were at Gulf Coast, and your son had a perfect score going on a Siwat. He had a 150, and we're all, it's at the break. We're all walking around. He comes around the corner half eating a cupcake.
Oh, yes.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? Because there was cupcakes in there free. Like, no, like you don't need that sugar high. And of course, he's like, he goes ahead. He's a good boy. He eats half of it and he puts it aside. But then he drops it. Right
Yes,
away.
it was all because of the cupcake.
It was the cupcake. You know what? I don't think he ate another cupcake in the middle.
Probably not. All right. So we need to fuel. We need to hydrate. We talked about the hydrate. And then we also need to talk about recovery, and we need to talk about rest. So fueling up, what do we need to have? We need to have the healthy carbs. So we're not loading up on bread and potatoes and fried potatoes and chips and French fries. Yeah, and especially if we're talking about outdoor season right now, you have all that on your stomach and you go outside.
Blech.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
Nope.
It's not going to be pretty. And then vegetables is a good thing. Fruit.
Blech.
Fruit is good.
Vegetables. Blech.
Tell Amy, get you the sardines then. They got lots of sodium right there. It's protein.
There you go. There you go.
Mhm. Fix you right up. Let's see. You can have the whole grain cereals. So something that Luke and now Julia have gotten to where they like are the Z bars. And so they're the zone bars, but they're like
That's
Clif
what Ryan.
bars
That's exactly what
because-
Ryan eats. He puts several Z bars in his quiver, and that's what he eats as he goes.
It's got to be better than Adam Guggesberg with the burrito in his quiver. I'm like, how old is that?
It's gross.
He's like, I don't even know.
Beans all
Still
falling
good.
out.
All right. So my kid's favorite is the frosted cinnamon Z bars. So, just saying. Anyway, I've had the chocolate chip. That was pretty good.
I don't even know what Ryan.
I think there's some kind of brownie one too.
I just
think it's
grab
all
them. I just grab whatever.
Yep. And
What about the
then-
peanut butter? Little peanut butter balls that you use?
Oh
Those are
yeah,
really good.
that I got you guys hooked on
So good.
Skippy peanut butter balls.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes, they
So
come in like
good.
a little jar. It's plastic little container. It's got a lid on it, and they're little round balls of peanut butter, just like it says. And so you can just pop them in. The guys started playing and shooting them in each other's mouths. So I guess it could be a fun game too. But something good to eat and fun to eat, all in one kit and caboodle. So pastas, which you don't see too many. You see more of that at like a swim meet, but also
Pull out
there's
some fettuccine there.
not quite what I was talking about, but you can have something like maybe make it the day before. And this is something that one of the moms does in swimming, but just,
But we're traveling. How would you make something before?
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right. Baked ziti.
That hesitation, if you're not watching the video, was total attitude.
I'm trying to keep myself composed, and because I know it's being recorded, and they can see my face if they watch the video.
That's right.
Yeah, so my face sometimes tells off on me. All right, so you can do rigatoni or ziti or something, and then not the sauce, not that heavy, not the red tomato paste sauce, not the the cream sauce, none of that. Maybe a little bit of Italian dressing. And then I'm all about, I don't know, they've got mozzarella balls. And you stick it in there, and there you go.
Oh, that's probably pretty good.
Yes. And
Sounds
you can
solid.
take that in a small container and put it in a little cooler. My kids take a little cooler with them so they can, have snacks and they can have cold drinks and everything. And
Because like Julia's on her own, so you have to prepare for her.
Yes.
And same for Ryan. I mean, even though Amy's there, she's not really there.
She is.
She is.
Oh, see what happens?
Okay, speak amongst yourselves.
See what happens when you mess around?
I'm feeling a little bit clipped.
All right. So, and another thing, you've got the trail mix that you can get in little individual bags. And that's another thing that's got dried fruit in there, like raisins. It's got nuts in there. It's got a little bit of chocolate. That's all good.
So making sure that, being prepared,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you have, well hydrated beforehand and during, making sure that there's some food. Just find some stuff that the kids like. There's some deli meats that you can do and things like that. While you're there, have a cooler when you show up. Have all that stuff in there. Nothing better than cool, like a cold drink, because sometimes what happens is they just sit out so long and they become hot.
Yes.
And then the kids stop drinking it. Well, we got to make sure we keep those cool.
Mm-hmm. And the sports drinks are not always the best. However, Gatorade has, so maybe there are some kiddos out there who may be diabetic or they're having to watch their sugar intake. And there's Gatorade Zero, there's Powerade Zero, so it's got less sugar in it. But yet it's got the electrolytes to help retain the fluid and keep your kiddos hydrated and kind of put back into them, which brings me to the next point of needing to recover. So not only, and you just said you've got to do it beforehand and during, you've got to do it after too. So it's a process because once your body loses
that's one thing we don't really, I don't usually focus on because I'm tired too. So I'm just like, all right, let's just.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So that is a very good point.
And especially when you're on a 3-day cruise. No, anyway, that's a 3-hour tour. But when you're on, like I said, it's like a marathon. It's not a 1-day thing. You've got to make sure that it carries on. When you get back to the hotel, make sure you've got some of those drinks. Maybe have a cooler at the hotel if your hotel doesn't have a refrigerator in there. And that's what I did, with Ryan at Gator Cup. I'm like, all right, dude, what kind of drinks do you want? Because you need to have that. Your mom's not here, so I may be overstepping here, but here's your case of water. Like, what flavor of Gatorade? Well, I like this kind. I like all the sugar. I'm sorry, your kid got all the sugar. My daughter had the zero, and your boy had the blue with all the sugar.
Oh,
so you've got to do it beforehand, during, and after. Don't forget the after, which is very hard to do. So you want to know the signs of heat-related illness, monitor your symptoms. Like we said, we were on 2 different fields and we saw these, and I'm going to say, the kiddo was 18 or so that I had, and you had the younger one. We both realized what was happening and took care of that and got them with that. So warning signs can be heavy sweating. It can also be, when you get to one point, lack of sweating. When you get to the lack of sweating, that is time for a medic. And then painful muscle cramps, because then you don't have the potassium. Something that I've started doing with my boy is taking potassium tablets with us. And so, because if we're sweating and we're getting that all of that out, then we don't have it. Extreme weakness and or fatigue. So we saw that in these kids.
And that is when you'll see they'll lag behind.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see, like the one kid right out of the gates, he was like, I don't feel great. Because he was kind of slow. I was like, are you okay? He's like, I'm not feeling great. I knew to keep an eye on him at that point.
Yep.
And he kept saying, I think it was something I ate last night.
Yeah.
And that's the older ones. I think that's what they think. It's something
Right.
they ate.
I mean, a kid, no matter the age, is not going to know what these signs are.
We don't.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's important to us as parents to watch, even watching our kids and watching other kids, because even us watching our kids, we may not notice it as much because we're just like, oh, he's just going slow because he's not shooting good. But the fact is he's going slow because he doesn't feel good.
They have an attitude. That's all it is. They'll be fine. Suck it up.
Yeah. Rub some dirt in it.
No. Give you some monkey blood. You'll be fine.
That's right.
Do you remember monkey blood?
Oh, yeah.
How do you say the real word for it?
No, I'm not saying it because you made fun of me the last time I tried to say it. Iodine or something like that?
No. Iodine. I mean, it looks like iodine, but mercurochrome or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong too. But monkey blood, if you're old enough, then you know what it is.
Yes.
All right. Another sign is being nauseous or even vomiting. And when you get to that point, you're really bad off too, because then you're even losing more. You're losing more of the fluids and everything. Dizziness and or headache, which that's what I saw with my kiddo or with the kiddo on my field. And then mental confusion. Just I don't really know what's going on. I just don't know. And that's what they'll kind of hold their head and I just don't know. And that's when don't even mess around. Just call a medic. And that's easy.
Yeah, there's medics there. That's a good point. So there's
yes.
medics that are going to be there on site that we can get very quickly to your field.
Yes. So you kind of want to have something. We talked about having a cooler and having food in there. And you talked about deli meats. You can also do like a roll-up. That's what we do. We'll have them in little baggies with some meat and cheese. And it's just something easy. They can pick up. They can grab it. If you're worried about germs, I always have a little thing of hand sanitizer in the side of it. So that way,
put some hand sanitizer
rub it in
all over. That's gross.
Oh my word. You've got to rub it in.
Kind of burn on your lips.
Anyway, so just be mindful, be vigilant, look around, not just look at your surroundings, as they say, to be safe, but to keep your kiddos, keep adults safe too. I mean, that's just, it happens at any age.
Yep. All this is just to encourage you guys to make sure you're prepared. We have an episode out that's kind of preparing you to go. This one is kind of prepare you guys while you're there and what to look for.
Yes.
And you can check us out. We'll have some of this information out there, but check us out on all major podcast platforms.
And Patreon.
That's
it. So that's all for this episode of Raising an Archer.